Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Kevin Campbell says Emile Smith Rowe could be Granit Xhaka's replacement at the Emirates. Kevin Campbell has tipped Emile Smith Rowe to take Granit Xhaka's spot in the Arsenal team in the long term. Speaking on the Highbury Squad YouTube channel, the pundit stated that he thinks that Smith Rowe's big challenge is to go out and prove that he is worthy of getting into this Arsenal side as a central midfielder, imploring the 22-year-old to improve the defensive side of his game. Smith Rowe broke through at Arsenal as a number 10 before being shifted out to the left, but now Campbell believes that the 22-year-old could make the switch into midfield in the near future. Campbell spoke about the youngster moving into Xhaka's role. He said, "By the way, Emile Smith Rowe, I think the challenge is this for Smith Rowe. Go and prove that you can play in a Granit Xhaka's spot and take it. I think he can, but the part of the game that needs to be developed is the defensive side. Going forward, Smith Rowe can do some amazing things. We have seen it last season when he hit double figures. He can be a difference maker going the other way. Defensively is where Xhaka has that number 8 spot nailed down." Not only does Smith Rowe need to improve the defensive side of his game if he is going to switch positions in this manner, he also needs to bulk up. While the 22-year-old is an incredibly talented technical player, he isn't as physically strong as a player like Xhaka, and that's one area he needs to improve upon. Smith Rowe certainly has the energy and the technical prowess to move into the number 8 role, but there are areas he needs to focus on if he is going to actually usurp Xhaka. Arsenal suffer Kieran Tierney injury blow after Rodri's challenge. Arsenal defender Kieran Tierney was forced to limp off the pitch due to an injury after hurting himself following a tackle from Manchester City star Rodri last night. Scotland pulled off a shock upset over Spain in their European qualifiers, beating them 2-0. Tierney started on the left side of a back three, and he had an excellent game. However, he appeared to hurt his calf in the second half and was withdrawn in the 76th minute. Rodri has suddenly become Arsenal fans' enemy number one. The Spaniard came under fire last week after his horrific tackle on Martin Odegaard during Spain's win over Norway in Malaga. The Arsenal captain, thankfully, came out unscathed. Rodri was at it again last night. The midfielder and Tierney went for the same ball, and the Scotsman came off worse after being caught by the Manchester City star's studs. Football Scotland revealed last night that it's indeed a calf problem, and it's highly unlikely that Tierney will be available for selection when Arsenal host Leeds United this weekend. That is a blow for the Gunners, who have already lost Takahiro Tomiyasu for the remainder of the season. If Tierney's injury turns out to be a serious one, Mikel Arteta will not be happy. The Arsenal boss will be left with just one fullback on each side, Alexander Zinchenko on the left and Ben White on the opposite side. If either of them suffers an injury or gets suspended, the Gunners will be in a real trouble. Tierney hasn't played much this season, but he is still a superb player. He showed his quality when he came on as a substitute and provided an assist in Arsenal's last game before the break against Crystal Palace. We'll know more about Tierney's injury in Arteta's pre-match press conference this week, but if the report is to be believed, he is likely to miss the game. Kevin Campbell reacts to rumor coming out of Arsenal on Tuesday. Kevin Campbell has been reacting to reports that Bukayo Saka is very close to signing a new Arsenal contract. Speaking on the Highbury Squad YouTube channel, Kevin Campbell has been discussing the rumors about Bukayo Saka and his new contract. Fabrizio Romano reported on Tuesday that the winger is indeed very close to signing a new big money deal with the Gunners, and Campbell is very excited about the prospect of Saka putting pen to paper. Campbell says that what Saka is being paid is utterly irrelevant. All that matters is that Arsenal are securing a superstar's long-term future at the club. Campbell gave his verdict on Saka signing a new deal. He said, "The money is irrelevant for me. Yes, he is getting a big contract and whatever, but we shouldn't even talk about money. The key isn't money, it's securing him at the football club for a long time. We have secured him, we have secured Martinelli, we have secured Gabriel. There is Odegaard and Saliba to come. This team are outperforming their contract. Campbell is absolutely right. The money doesn't matter when it comes to signing Saka down to a new deal, whether it's £300,000 a week, a £500,000 a week, or even a £1 million a week. Saka is proving to be absolutely priceless to Arsenal right now. Yes, they are paying him huge sums, but when you consider how much his transfer value must be at this point and how valuable he is to Mikel Arteta's team, you can't argue that they are not getting value for money. Simply put, there is no other player like Saka that Arsenal could get their hands on at the moment, and for that reason, he is priceless. Kevin Campbell says William Saliba is now worth up to £200 million. Arsenal now have a player worth up to £200 million in William Saliba. That's according to Kevin Campbell, speaking to Highbury Squad as he implored the Gunners to ensure that the Frenchman is tied down to a new contract at the Emirates. It has been a turbulent time for William Saliba. He arrived for £27 million when he moved to the Emirates. However, it seemed for some time that he may actually leave before he ever gets the chance to make his debut. Arsenal would surely not even think about selling Saliba now, but Campbell believes that if a team did want to make a move, they would have to be prepared to offer a world record amount for a defender. He told Highbury Squad the following: "He is going to be an absolute stalwart for years to come. He is in our building and we will be crazy, absolutely crazy to let him leave. So whenever he is in your building, he is under contract. You do the deal and yeah, he is not going to be on Saka money, but he deserves good money. He is being out on loan. He is only going to get better, like Saka, Odegaard, Ramsdale, you name them, they are only going to get better. William Saliba is going to sign a new deal for Arsenal, that is for sure. Mikel Arteta cannot believe his luck. Think about it. He is being on loan. He brings him in from Marseille and he is got a 150, £200 million defender. Sign him, don't mess around. It seems such a long time ago now that Arsenal seemed to be in complete disarray. It appeared that they were going nowhere under Mikel Arteta in his first job in management. However, Arteta and Edu knew better. Arsenal put the foundations in place which have allowed them to challenge for a Premier League title. Arteta could become the first manager to win the Premier League in his first job, and Saliba may well lift the trophy in the campaign in which he actually made his long-awaited debut for the Gunners. Pundit says Arsenal may have a teenage version of William Saliba on their hands. Kevin Campbell has been discussing Marquinhos' development at Arsenal and where the Brazilian can go from here. Discussing the winger on the Highbury squad, Campbell stated that he believes the 19-year-old needs another year out on loan to get first-team football and develop his game. Campbell compared Marquinhos' situation to William Saliba's a couple of years ago, stating that the Brazilian could do with one more year developing his game before returning to Arsenal to be analysed. He said, "I think he came and he did a job when we were a bit depleted and he did okay. He is so young. I think it's 2 years, a bit like Saliba. You loan him out, you monitor him, and you look again, and then he will have had a lot of first team football, and that's what you need. He is not playing enough for me at Norwich. After 2 years, assess him with the squad and see where we are because who knows where we'll be in 2 years." Marquinhos hasn't hit the ground running at Arsenal after signing for the London club last summer, but at the age of just 19, there is time to be patient with him. As Campbell says, William Saliba took a while to really get going within top-level football, and now the Gunners are reaping the rewards of their patience with the young defender. Indeed, Saliba is now arguably one of the best centre-backs in the world, and while there is no guarantee that Marquinhos will follow that trajectory, giving him a chance to grow and develop away from the Emirates will help him become the player everyone hopes he can be. Who knows where Marquinhos will be in a couple of years' time, but he certainly looks like a player with plenty of potential. Arsenal now making the strongest bid to sign extraordinary striker Vitor Roque. Arsenal are making the strongest push to secure the signature of a Brazilian striker Vitor Roque, that is according to Sport in Spain, who suggests that the Gunners and Chelsea are both working to try and snatch the 18-year-old who is also wanted by Barcelona. Vitor Roque looks set to be one of the next extraordinary talents to emerge out of Brazil. The Atletico PR starlet is attracting attention from a number of European heavyweights. He is set to leave his club, and the Sport report that both Arsenal and Chelsea are working on a potential summer move for the teenager. In fact, the report claims that Arsenal are the team showing the strongest interest in the forward. Edu has been working on a potential deal for months. He has been in contact with the players' representatives for much of that time, too. It's noted that Vitor Roque's representatives will be in London for talks for his admirers, and they will then move on to Barcelona amid interest from the Catalan giants. Arsenal have built such an impressive group of Brazilian players in recent years. The likes of Magalhães, Martinelli, and Jesus could be stalwarts for Seleção for years to come. The move for Martinelli, in particular, could be significant. His decision to move to Arsenal straight from his home country has been vindicated in some style over the last few years. Vitor Roque has previously spoken of his dream being to play for Barcelona, so it will not be easy to get a deal across the line. However, Arsenal are a different animal under Edu and Mikel Arteta, so they may well fancy their chances of ultimately winning the race to sign the youngster this summer. Arsenal very interested in 30 million euros rated 23-year-old Danish midfielder star Jesper Lindstrom. Whether or not they end up claiming this season's Premier League title, Arsenal have certainly improved under Mikel Arteta, and like all good teams, it appears that they want to upgrade their playing staff whilst they are at the top. Rather than allow form and results to dip, the Gunners are seemingly active in the transfer market, with Sport 1 reporting that the North Londoners are very interested in Eintracht Frankfurt's exciting 23-year-old midfielder Jesper Lindstrom. The player is always on the front foot, likes to get forward at every opportunity, coming inside as and when the need arises. His positive way of playing very much fits into Arsenal's attacking style, something that has become a hallmark of Mikel Arteta's side. At 23, he also has room to improve, although Sport 1 reports that Eintracht believe the player is already at his peak with little room for improvement. That has to be seen as much as a stalling tactic, if nothing else, because it's difficult to believe that the Gunners would even be sniffing around the player if he had nothing to offer. Arteta has also shown his credentials as a master motivator and tactician, and he is hardly going to be spending the board's money without having done proper due diligence on a player who could give something extra to his squad. Arsenal are now the favourites to sign Rasmus Hojlund for big fee. Arsenal are now reportedly leading the race to sign Atalanta and Denmark striker Rasmus Hojlund this summer. The Gunners have mostly targeted young players with a huge potential over the last few years. They even have one of the youngest sides in Europe at the moment and are still on top of the league table. If you are a talented young player and want to take your game to a whole new level, Mikel Arteta is the manager to work under, and the Arsenal boss now apparently has his eye on a 20-year-old Hojlund. Rasmus Hojlund is among the most talented strikers of his age in the world. The Dane, who switched Austrian side Sturm Graz for Atalanta last summer, is on every top club's radar now. He has been sensational this season, scoring a combined 14 goals and providing 5 assists for his two clubs at domestic level. Now Hojlund has been providing his class on the international stage. The youngster scored 5 goals for Denmark in their 2 games in this international break, which is a stunning record for anyone, let alone a 20-year-old. That's why Hojlund is a wanted man, and Italian outlet Calciomercato has revealed yesterday that Arsenal are in pole position to sign the Dane in the upcoming transfer window. It has been claimed that Juventus also really like Hojlund and view him as a potential replacement for Dusan Vlahovic should he leave Turin at the end of the season. Hojlund still has over 4 years left on his contract, and his current valuation, which is certain to go up, stands at around £40 million. Arsenal have Gabriel Jesus, Edin Ketia, and Leandro Trossard up top, while Gabriel Martinelli can also play there. Folarin Balogun will also be back in the summer, which all but eliminates the need for a new striker. However, Hojlund offers something different to all of the above players. That could be why Arsenal are chasing him, and we must say he'd be a fantastic signing if they can get him. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.